In 1992, wrestling was the biggest thing on the planet. Randy Savage beat Ric Flair for the WWF Championship at WrestleMania 8. It's a good thing for Randy Savage, though. Our guest here today didn't have to wrestling because Randy Savage, you would have got beat. Sir, if you would, introduce yourself.
My name's Bobby Vanhoose.
Bobby Vanhoose, and you were Johnson Central's first state wrestling champion.
That's right.
1992, 103 pounds.
Yep. Even though my uniform, you'll find out later, everybody argues about, says it's 105.
105, and I was actually I went up to we're here in the Johnson Central locker room here, and this photo right here hung, I'll cover me up so it looks a whole lot better. This photo hung in the lobby of Johnson Central since 1992. It was you and Amy Cantrell winning.
That's right.
You guys won. You won wrestling. She won the state girls golf, and there was a trophy case that hung there for years and years and years. Yes. And that was the only indication. There was nothing in the gym. There was nobody would have known anything about Bobby Vanhoose other than this photo. And, when I was going here, that was the only thing that was up. Now you go to that trophy case, you guys are going to see photos. Johnson now has 12 state champions.
Wow.
Let's go over them real quick. Of course, you in 1992, 103 pounds. Corey Spencer, 112 pounds, 2008. Ryan Harlow, heavyweight, 2009. Zach Salyers, 140 pounds, 2011. J.J. Jude won it back-to-back in 2011 and 2012 at 171 pounds. Jordan Blanton won it in 2015 and 2017, 145, 160 pounds. Byron Pierce won it back-to-back years, heavyweight, 2018 and 2019. Matt Horn won it in 2019, 195 pounds, and Reese Goss won it last year at 144 pounds. And to add to that, Johnson now has two team runner-up trophies, 2019 and 2022. But enough about that. How does Bobby Vanhoose find wrestling?
Well, I first heard about it with my older brother. He started, and we'd come to pick him up every evening, and I'd watch him and a bunch of them boys that was what I consider old school.
Yep.
Running around the gym. I thought, well, maybe this is track.
Mm-hmm.
But because that's all they did. Every time we'd stop to pick my brother up, they were running. And that's just, we'd get there a little bit early, and I would be able to get out there and kind of stand and watch them wrestle, and it just took off from there. When I saw that, I knew that was for me.
Right. And in case you're not familiar, like a lot of schools, you practiced up on the landing.
Oh, yeah.
And you ran around down the steps, up the steps.
Yes.
Probably done that 1,000 times,
yes.
I would have to imagine. So your brother gets you into wrestling.
Yes.
When is the moment that it's like, okay, I'm good at this. I know I can do something special?
Well, I knew I wasn't going to make it in football. I broke my leg in my 8th grade year. It knocked me out of getting to wrestle that year. But just being out on the mat the first time and seeing what I could do and wrestling with the other guys. And I went junior varsity my first year, and it's taking me back.
I can imagine.
But getting your butt kicked, and then when you start, it's like hunting. You can go hunting a dozen times, but until you see that first buck,
right.
then you get the fever, and I got that with wrestling. I really did. I still have it.
I can understand that, and we're going to talk about that just in a second. Your son now wrestles, but we'll bring that up just in a second. So of course you graduate in 1992. You're a senior. Mm-hmm. In I believe it is 1991. You get 4th at 103 pounds, and coming into your senior year, now not just the Johnson crowd. I've had people, whenever we posted a photo on social media, actually you're holding this photo, you guys are going to see it, you're holding this. I've been to some tournaments, and some people, even when I went down to Hoptown, some of the guys that remember you was like, Bobby Vanhoose might be the strongest pound per pound wrestler I've ever seen. What made him so strong? And I was like, I don't know. I'll ask him. So, Bobby, what made Bobby Vanhoose, people, all these years later are still considering you one of the strongest pound per pound wrestlers Kentucky's ever seen. Where did that strength come from?
Well, thank you for saying that. It's just the way we were taught. There was a lot that I don't know how to explain it really. The work ethic.
Right.
When we did wrestling, I mean, you just worked, it seemed like for 3 to 4 hours every day, it seemed that way. And if you love it enough, you're going to work even harder at it on your off time.
Right.
And really, honestly, that's kind of what I did. Me and a bunch of the guys that I wrestled with, you know, we were just getting to where we would be running to try to lose weight in the mornings. You would run and wrestle extra after practice. You were always, before you know it, you know, you put in almost twice as much wrestling at the end of the week than what other people would do.
Right.
So my mentality is, if I do more than everybody else, I'm going to be better. And
it worked
if you
out.
got a good work ethic, that's what it's about. The skill, I never felt like I really had the greatest skill in the world, but one thing about it was I'm never going to let nobody outdo me. So that was my mentality.
Of course, we have the video and we're going to watch it, but I think a lot of it comes down to just being mountain strong, I guess, if you will. Being up in the hills, doing mountain stuff, if you will.
Well, you know, playing football, those things contributed a lot too, because there was something else I need to mention. We had a weightlifting team, and we always did things just for just to raise money and so forth, but it ended up being a little bit more than that. So that really got me involved. I loved lifting weights. I loved football. I used to get criticized, why aren't you playing football your last year? Well, I thought, well, I'm not going to make it in football.
Right.
And I didn't want to get hurt again, so.
I can understand.
But yeah, all these things combined, that's really what does.
Now, you were talking about some of the guys on your team. Let's go over real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Some guy named Kelly Castle.
Oh, yeah.
125 pounds, come in 6th place. The word is he got hurt and probably would have finished a whole lot higher. Do you remember anything about that?
Oh, yes. Let me tell you something. I'm only sitting here and I done what I done, even though he's not, I know he's in the room, but you can take him out of the room, you cannot let him see the video. I contribute all this to people like that. And I was doing an interview on my way down here by myself.
Okay, that's good.
So I was sitting here thinking of all the people I wanted I can contribute this to. You know, you're talking Kelly Castle, who used to wear me out in practice.
We're going to cut that part out of the video. We'll cut the part out that Kelly can't hear it.
So, you know, when you take people like that, we're talking Brad Castle, Doug Oxer, they would wear me out. But they were always heavier than me. You take someone that was heavier than me and would wear me out, and if I get to where I could just hang with them.
Yeah.
So that was my attitude. If I can hang with you, you know, and I start going up higher weight classes, then I'm going to definitely take it to somebody my own weight class.
I 100% agree. You also had Billy Taylor, 135 pounds, comes in 5th place that year. And then David Vanhoose, but I guess David got hurt or sick or something before, because the bracket has him forfeiting out before he actually gets to compete. So I don't know exactly what that was. But you're coming off of 4th place, and we're going to go over the bracket real quick. Going in to the state championship, you actually get upset in the regional finals.
Oh, yeah.
A guy from Harrison County.
Yeah, Chris Kenny.
Yep, I was hoping you remember it because I had it wrote down to see if you want to remember it. Yep.
I remember a few names.
Oh, yeah. And so you get upset in the regional finals, and then I guess I have to imagine that week of practice, you're just like a machine, an animal.
Absolutely.
Just put somebody in front of me. I'm ready to just...
Well, you know, it's good to be humbled, and I think that's what happened to me. When you start thinking that, you know, you're really that good or whatever, I don't know that I ever thought like that. But anyway, it's good to be set back and make you think about things again.
Right.
And that was just a way of telling me I need to work a little bit harder. I had always wrestled Chris, and I would beat him. And before him, of course, it was Jason Moore.
Oh, yeah, Jason. Shout out Jason Moore.
Yeah, Jason Moore was the strongest wrestler I ever wrestled.
We'll cut that part out too, Jason.
Yeah.
We can't let you hear that part. No, I'm kidding. So, and the reason I bring that up is I've heard about this guy in the first round. You've heard, I mean, everywhere I've been, that people in that era, they said this dude was like the gatekeeper. Martez Green from Fairdale. Now, the reason I say that is it's got you winning a decision in overtime. You go into overtime tied 4-4, and that does not have the score.
Yeah.
It just says you win. And what do you remember about that match?
Well, the first time that I ever had, you got to understand, we're talking 4 years of 103 pounds.
Right.
So that last year, that last tournament, that last weigh-in, it's getting a little bit rough. I'd never done it before. So I took an X-Lax.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So with nothing sitting on my stomach, and after making weight, and you get something to eat, you know, you got an hour or two before your match. That's when it finally get brewed up, and there it was. So yeah, I really had a tough time getting through that first match. I know Coach Emmett Gamble and Darren and a bunch of them would look at me like, what is wrong with him? You know, here it is, the first match, and this kid's like, I don't remember what it was, ranked 6th, I'm ranked 1st or 2nd.
Right.
I mean, it shouldn't have been like that. But, you know, it is what it is. You fight through it, and that's what I had to do.
I think that's the first mention of X-Lax on the series, so there we go. Now, you get to the quarterfinals. You're wrestling a phenomenal wrestler in Vernon Jackson from Eastern. Vernon goes on to win it in 1993, I believe it is. You win that by a 6-2 decision. Vernon gets 3rd. You go to the semifinals. You're wrestling Billy Crooker from Covington Scott. You win that by a major decision, 12-2. Yeah. Billy comes in 5th in 93 at 112 and 5th in 94 at 119 pounds. So, you know, your quarterfinals and final or semifinals both were tough wrestlers.
Oh, yeah.
You get to the finals, and this is what I was wanting to talk about. Chad Edwards from Hopkinsville. Now, the 92 Hopkinsville team was, I'm going to go on record and say, and you guys know what I'm talking about if you were there. I've got the video. I've got to meet some of the guys, Willie, Livingston, some of those guys. That 92 Hopkinsville team was probably the swaggiest team that Kentucky's ever seen. They had 9 people place. They had 4 in the finals. They had Rusty Logan at 125. They had Willie, who won most outstanding. Willie Ennels, 160 pounds, a 3-timer. And they had 189 pounds, Teddy Krubbs, who gets beat by Bruce Stepp. So they had 9 place. They had 4 in the finals. At the time, they broke the team scoring record for points accumulated in a state tournament. I mean, they were the show.
Yes, sir.
And there's some people that, excuse me, Hopkinsville contention that still feel that Chad got a.
Oh my gosh.
That Chad, you know, should have come out on top of this one. They still don't understand how you beat him. But we've got the video, and we're gonna prove it. We're gonna prove it right here. So you have brought a few things. We're gonna get those get those items. We'll see you guys on the other side. We've got this jacket that the school gave you, and of course you guys will see. It's got a really nice embroidered patch, KHSAA State Champion Wrestling, and your name, you know, beautiful. It's in beautiful, phenomenal shape. And also here you have this trophy that the school gave you, I believe, correct?
Yes.
And you know, it's amazing that you've been able to keep up with this stuff 31 years later. I mean, it's just absolutely phenomenal. People, you know, don't think it means a whole lot, but like I said in just about every one of my videos, high school athletics means so much to so many people in different ways. I mean, it just does. I mean, I know whenever I posted we were going to be meeting, doing the video, you know, a lot of your family shared, oh my God, Bobby's video, we've never seen that. And people, you know, now we got to talk a little bit about something you posted, and you said earlier, you're coaching now Lawrence County's youth program. Your son wrestles. What's your son's name?
Jordan Vanhoose.
Jordan, and this past weekend, as of this filming, was the middle school and youth state wrestling tournament at Corbin Arena. And I think that you made a promise or something to that effect that if they won the team state, and they ended up winning like the Division 2 or 2A division, whatever it was, team state championship. And you told them, if you guys win it, I'll compete in a tournament.
That was the promise.
And so if you know of a geriatric tournament, I'm kidding, Bobby, a nursing home event, because I'm kidding. But for real though, there are like over 40 tournaments, over 50 tournaments. Yeah. I have to imagine, you know, they have the oxygen on standby. They have, you know, EMTs and paramedics at every mat. They have chiropractors and make sure your AARP card is up to date. I'm kidding.
Look, I can wrestle at the middle school 1-1-1, but I can't do the high school 2-minute periods. That's out.
It's got to be the over 50
yes
crowd, and it's got to be 1-minute periods, right?
That's right.
Okay.
We can handle that.
Now, Bobby, this tape, we're getting ready to turn the camera around. We're going to do a new session, but before we get to that, this tape has been in hiding for 31 years.
Long time.
And I have to say thank you to Brent and Harrison Courtney, Woodford County, for finding this. Whenever they sent me, they had this. I mean, I couldn't believe it because I've been looking for this for a long time. And I wanted to put mat time with this. And that's why I say in all my videos is, you know, you go into a gym, you go into wherever it is, trophy case, and you might see a photo, you might see a name on a banner or a name on a billboard in a gym or whatever it may be. But without seeing the match, you're not getting the full story. You're just not seeing how they won it, how good they were. Yeah, they may have won the championship, but how good were they? And now that we have the video, you know, your family's going to be able to see it. Your kids that you coach, your son that wrestles, all your family, everybody, your teammates, your classmates. I know the Hoptown crowd is going to watch it. They're still probably going to debate it. You know, you guys know I love you, though. You guys know I love you. So, Bobby, we are going to go back to 1992, Louisville Atherton Gym. We'll see you guys there. So you guys are seeing what we're seeing, Louisville Atherton Gym. And, of course, they didn't do the spotlight. You guys have seen enough videos. If you haven't, go back after you watch this. Go back and watch the other 150-plus videos we've got in the series so far. So you win your semifinals. You're in the finals. What is going through your head? Because you're the first Johnson Central wrestler in the finals. And, I mean, what is going through Bobby Vanhoose's head?
Well, honestly, once I got through that first match and I got to just rest it off, and when I come back, and it was almost as if I was comfortable after that. So, I don't know. I really wasn't fretting or worrying about it. All I know is I was probably as pumped and intensity more than I ever had been before. I knew that I was about to get it on. I don't care who they put in front of me.
I can feel you on that. Now, when we first started the series, I reached out to you, and you said that you think you have this on video somewhere. You just, well, I hate to say it, but people don't know where stuff is nowadays because, you know, for whatever reason. How long has it been, think you, since you saw it?
It's been a long time. The only video I really had was the radio station made a video for me.
Oh, okay.
And it was more or less just highlights of the whole tournament. And I know I've got it, but Lord only knows where everything's at now.
Well, now we have the face-off and we have the full match. So, enough of us talking. Bobby, 1992, here we come. Now that's Bruce Step right there in the red and blue jacket. Sir. Here comes Chad. Now Chad looks like he's about 152 pounds. There's no way he's 103 pounds here.
I don't know what's
going on. Now it's going to cut right into it. And there you are. Headgears, you throw it off. Get that off me, right? Yeah. Referee stops it. Now right here, watch this shot right here. You lift, turn, boom, you get your two. Now who's these people, these coaches back here?
Well, there's Darren, the one you can plainly see He's got
in the red hat.
Yes, sir. And then you got Emmett Gamble and then Jerry Butcher, but the Gambles was a huge benefit to me all through wrestling.
Oh yeah,
I looked up to them more than probably anybody.
Darren was my coach in high school. His son Blake now has the high school team after Coach Matney's untimely passing, and Blake's doing a phenomenal job. Now you've got Chad down. What is are you just looking to ride him out? Are we looking to turn? What are we looking to do? Because he is big. There's no way he's 103 pounds here.
Well, I don't know. I hear talk that he dropped like a couple weight classes to make it.
I can believe that.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. You know, obviously he made it or something, and that's all fine and dandy.
Right.
Maybe that made him weaker. I don't know. Due to my loss in regionals, placed everybody in the tournament differently than I feel like it should have been. I don't want to take credit away from Chad.
Yeah.
But I do think that if the regionals would have been a different outcome, we'd have a different outcome here too. In the I'm still going to win.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm talking about. I really think that my second match against Vernon Jackson, it probably should have been me and him meeting each other. But it turned out the way it did for a good reason. And you're asking whether or not what I'm planning on doing or about riding. No, I never want to just ride somebody. I'm looking to turn him.
Like you're trying to push his head down right there.
Yeah.
Like Looks like you're trying like an arm ride, or there you go. There's a turn. Oh. Nope. Nothing. That's a good turn though, or a good tilt right there. I ended the period. Now it cut straight to the second. Did you remember taking neutral, or somebody took neutral? Because the score's 2-0. You're up 2-0. And right here, you roll through when I think you pop your head out. We got Coach Placer and Coach Tony Harris for Hopkinsville.
They should be getting me 2 here in just a minute.
You pop your head out, maybe. There it is, 2. So now it's 4-0. Do you have like a lot of family in the crowd?
Actually, I just had my dad, my uncle, my brothers, and then they were sitting at the house listening to things on the radio.
Oh, the radio broadcasted it?
I think they did broadcast
wow.
it, yes.
WSIP, you got to hook me up with that archive. I didn't know that. Nobody had ever said that either. Not just you,
I've done some things differently in this match that I've never done before. I don't know. You see what I've done here? I threw the legs in. So that's not me. I'm not a leg man.
You got a boot in, looks like.
It's just, I don't know. This was an odd match. I do feel the difference wrestling him than I did some of the others where he's so linky.
Yeah.
But as far as, I don't know, I didn't really, didn't feel like there was a whole lot there.
Now Chad's trying to come out the back door there. And I guess it's your strength just holding him because he's not able to pop out. It's like you've got like a,
his arm and
not even like a half, but you're just like underhooking that arm. Now also in '92, you had Steve Jew from Sean Clark in the finals. You had Archie, Steph, and Bruce. So you had 4.
And Chris Goss.
Well, that was '91.
Was that '91? Okay. Wow.
Yep. Chris won it in '91.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, because that was a long time. Bruce was in mine.
Now, you take down, I believe.
Yeah, I always believe in taking down.
Now, was Chad pretty strong?
No, not really.
And
I don't mean to hurt nobody's feelings.
Facts are facts, I guess.
You know, he earned his way there,
and
they should get credit for that. But like I said, I believe if regionals had been a little bit different, I think that I'd have had somebody different.
There it is, 2 reversal. So now it's 6-0. Have a seat, Coach. Have a seat over in the corner.
Even or Darren, either one, I swear, if they could be out there with me, they would.
Wrestling a match for you in the corner. Hey, that's what a good coach does. They're into it just as much as you are.
Yes, sir.
So 92, though, that was the year that the rest of the state had to take notice. Hey, these guys in Eastern Kentucky can wrestle a little bit. Because you and Bruce both won it. Now you're working that half. I think in today's wrestling, that may have been stopped for potentially dangerous, but... And Chad really hasn't done a whole lot. Nope. I mean, he's not mounted any offense. He's not come off the bottom a single time.
Well, I kind of felt that way in the match. I felt like it was just nothing more than like just wanted to base up and just be, ride it out.
Right.
I never really felt like there was much there. Like, as long as he could base out, and I know we tried turning there a little while. I mean, throw them legs in again.
Right here, the first time I saw this, I thought, man, if he could just reach over and pulled your head down right there, but you know enough to...
I gave him his only 2.
I don't say you give. It looks like it was a very tactical decision. Better a 2 than a pin.
Because I'm about to pin him right there.
And there's the final. There you go. Jerry Butcher picks you up, and that's where the video ends. So, while you're watching it back all these years later, did it play out the way you remembered it?
Well, it takes you back a little bit. I think sometimes you might remember things differently a little bit. Boy, it really takes you back. I like to go back there again.
Oh yeah, and that's
a lot of things I do differently.
Finally getting to add some map time to this photo that we've been looking at for 31 years. And by the way, those photos, these are so great that I think it says it's the Friends of Kentucky High School Athletics, and there's been a lot of places I've been to. They got these hanging up in the gym. In 92, so far we've done Tony Condi's video. Remember Tony from Henry Clay? We've done Joey Roby and Eric Dingus's video. We've done Bruce's 189. I actually got to meet Joey Roby's dad this past weekend at the middle school state, and Mike, he was phenomenal. Met his Joey's sister, and when I met him, Joey's sister come up and she was like, I was there in person, but when we were watching your video together as a family, we all were like, we're out of breath, nervous. Is it going to turn out the same? And I was like, well, I hope it turns out the same. You know, I feel pretty confident that the video is going, or the tape is going to be the same way it was when you guys were there, as we Photoshop it or whatever, do some editing. But Bobby, do you have anything to wrap it up about
Well, I just takes me back, and I wish that I could go back and do some things differently. However, at the same time, you're proud of what you do and being recognized, and I sure appreciate you doing that for me.
No problem.
I appreciate the guys here, Darren Gamble and Blake and Kelly Castle and everybody that takes the time out of their day to recognize me, and I appreciate that.
Oh, man. And earlier we was getting set up, and I think they introduced you to the wrestling team currently. And like as of this filming, this is regional tournament week. Kentucky now, as it stands, we have regionals, semi-state, and then the state tournament. And so many guys, whether it's on camera or off camera, have said something to that effect. Man, if I could just have one more shot at it.
That's right.
If I could just have I can't believe that guy, especially even the guys that win, but the guys maybe come in second place, or they were ranked number 1 and something happened, they end up getting 4th or 5th.
Right.
Man, if I could just have one more shot at that guy, I know I could beat him. I know it. I know what I messed up on, and that's the beauty, I guess, of wrestling is, you get one shot at it.
You get one shot at it.
You get one shot.
Make it your best.
And if you don't win, you can't blame the receiver for dropping the pass. You can't blame the point guard for missing the pass or whatever it is. So it's just you and the other person, and whoever at that moment is the better man.
That's right.
Is going to come out on top.
That's right. You put in the work and you'll succeed.
So what would a young Bobby Vanhoose, maybe whatever year in school, senior, freshman, before you started, what would a young Bobby Vanhoose tell Bobby Vanhoose now about wrestling? What wrestling teaches you in life? What just kind of give us, because what I found is so many people that I've met with have such great stories about their journey and what they would like to convey to the upcoming youth, the kids that are wrestling. Just anything come off the top of your head that all these years later, you're like, man, I wish somebody would have told me this, or
I don't know. Don't take X-Lax. That much I do.
Okay, that's so far. That's, I believe, the line of the series. Don't take X-Lax. Well, Bobby, thank you for coming today. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you again for doing this. I'm glad that we got the video, and now your family, everybody can enjoy it. And
thank you for that.
Those Hoptown guys, we got the proof. Livingston, Willie, guys, I love you. Miguel, all you guys, Hoptown, I love you. But we got the proof's in the pudding. The proof's on video. That's all we got today. We will see you guys on the mats.